our planet, where the world fades into endless white, there exists a place untouched by mercy, the Arctic. A land of silence so deep, it feels as though time itself has frozen. A land where life does not thrive, it endures. Here, survival is not a right, it is a battle, fought every single moment. The cold does not simply surround you, it invades you. It seeps into bone, into breath, into thought. And in this place, even the strongest must bow to one truth. Nature does not care if you live or die. For those who call this place home, existence is defined by one thing alone: survival. Not comfort, not peace, but survival. A mother moves across the frozen expanse, her presence both powerful and fragile. She is not just a hunter, she is a guardian, a protector, a teacher. Beside her, the next generation. They young lives, still learning the rules of a world that offers no forgiveness. They do not yet understand the weight of hunger, the danger of silence, or the cost of hesitation. But they will. Because here, every lesson is written in struggle. There is no safety in numbers, no sanctuary in distance, no moment where danger truly disappears. In the Arctic, danger is constant. It does not announce itself. It does not wait for you to be ready. It simply arrives. And when it does, everything changes. The balance between life and death is never stable. It shifts, like the ice beneath their feet. Unpredictable, unforgiving. The frozen ground may look solid, endless, eternal, but that is the illusion of the Arctic. Beneath the surface, everything is in motion. Cracks form in silence. Pressure builds without warning. And in a single moment, what once supported life can become the very force that destroys it. This is a world where certainty does not exist, where even the ground cannot be trusted. And still, life continues because it must. Hunger does not wait. Cold does not pause. And time never stops. For a mother, survival is no longer just her own burden. It is multiplied. Every decision carries weight. Every movement, consequence. There is no room for error, because here, one mistake is enough. Not just for her, but for those who depend on her. And yet, she moves forward. Not because she is fearless, but because she has no choice. That is the truth of survival in the Arctic. It is not bravery, it is necessity. In this frozen world, strength alone is not enough. Speed cannot guarantee safety. Power cannot promise victory. Because survival here is not about dominance. It is about endurance, about how long you can continue when everything around you is working against you. The cold, the hunger, the endless uncertainty. Even the silence carries weight. A silence that hides threats, that masks danger, that turns every moment into a question. How long can this last? And sometimes, the answer comes without warning. The Arctic is not just harsh, it is deceptive. What appears calm can turn in an instant. What seems stable can collapse without notice. And when it does, there is no time to react, no time to prepare, only time to face the consequences. Because in this world, there are no second chances. There is only what happens, and what follows. And what follows is often unforgiving. Yet still, life moves forward, not because it is safe, not because it is easy, but because it must. The instinct to survive is stronger than fear, stronger than pain, stronger than the reality of the world itself. It pushes forward, even when the odds are impossible, even when the ground begins to shift, even when everything begins to fall apart. Because survival is not a choice. It is the only option. In the Arctic, every day is a test of strength, of instinct, of endurance, a test that never ends. And for those who fail, there is no recovery, no redemption, no second attempt, only silence. A silence that swallows everything, that erases struggle, erases effort, erases existence. And yet, life continues, because for every loss, there is another beginning. For every moment of failure, there is another chance to try. Not because the world is kind, but because life refuses to stop. That is the paradox of the Arctic. It is both a place of death and a place of persistence, a world that destroys and yet demands survival. And in this endless cycle, only one truth remains. Nothing is guaranteed. Not safety, not success, not even the ground beneath your feet. Because here, even the earth itself can betray you. And when it does, there is no warning, no mercy, only the reality of a world that does not forgive. At the top of the world, life exists on the edge of everything. Balance is temporary, stability is an illusion, and survival is the only story that matters. The Arctic does not pause, even after danger has passed. There is no time to recover, no moment to reflect, because survival demands more than escape. It demands preparation. The mother moves forward once again, not away from danger, but deeper into the reality of this unforgiving world. Beside her, the young follow. They have survived, but survival alone is not enough. In the Arctic, to live, you must learn. And learning here does not come through comfort. It comes through necessity. Every step becomes a lesson. Every moment, a silent instruction. Not spoken, but understood. The mother does not teach with patience. She teaches with urgency. Because time is not on their side. Hunger is always near. Cold is always waiting. And weakness is always exposed. The young begin to understand. This world does not provide. If it must be taken, carefully, precisely, without hesitation. Because hesitation can mean loss, and loss can mean the end. In this frozen wilderness, skill is not inherited. It is earned through observation, through instinct, through the quiet repetition of survival itself. The mother guides not with words, but with presence, showing them how to read the land, how to sense what cannot be seen, how to trust not just strength, but timing. Because in the Arctic, timing is everything. Move too soon, and you fail. Move too late, and you starve. There is no perfect moment, only the moment you choose, and that choice defines everything. The young begin to see the truth of their world, that survival is not about power, but about understanding. Understanding the silence, the rhythm, the invisible balance between life and loss. And slowly, they change. Not into something stronger, but into something sharper, more aware, more precise, more prepared. Because here, childhood does not last. It is replaced by reality. A reality where every lesson carries weight, and every mistake leaves a mark. The Arctic does not wait for them to grow. It forces them to. And as they move forward, across the endless ice, into an uncertain future, one truth becomes clear. Survival is not something they will find. It is something they must become.